Today I stand before you to challenge the notion that the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments overturned the Dred Scott versus Sanford decision of 1857. While these amendments are monumental achievements in the struggle for equality, they did not repudiate the grave injustice enshrined in the Dred Scott decision. In 1857, the Supreme Court, wielding its ultimate authority to interpret the Constitution, concluded that colonial slavery was a lawful condition when this nation declared independence in July 1776, and that black people, whether enslaved or free, were not and could never be citizens of the United States. Chief Justice Roger Taney wrote that black people were beings of an inferior order who had no rights that the white man was bound to respect. This pronouncement was historically inaccurate, legally flawed, and a grave departure from controlling English precedent. When Thomas Jefferson penned the Declaration of Independence in 1776, he and the other founding fathers were fully aware that the British imperial government had lawfully abolished colonial slavery. The British Parliament abolished all colonial slave codes and Negro laws in 1766 because they denied and questioned Parliament's supreme lawmaking authority. Further, the landmark Somerset versus Stewart decision of 1772 invalidated all claims to slave ownership in the American colonies and affirmed parliamentary sovereignty. These legal precedents left no doubt that slavery, as practiced in the colonies, stood in direct violation of English law. Jefferson and his contemporaries faced a legal and moral conundrum. They knew that declaring independence from Britain would expose the illegitimacy of their claims to enslaved labor. Jefferson's proposed solution was to break from Anglo-Saxon jurisprudence entirely and adopt Roman law, which sanctioned slavery and denied birthright citizenship. He believed this legal shift would create a foundation for a slave-holding republic. Yet to his astonishment, Congress rejected his proposal in July 1776, affirming a commitment to English common law instead. Jefferson would later lament that Congress had mangled the Declaration of Independence. Still, history reveals a different truth. This rejection marked a critical moment when the vision of institutionalizing slavery in the fabric of the new nation was thwarted. By affirming English common law, Congress and the legislatures of all 13 states ensured that Parliament's abolition of colonial slave codes and laws in 1766 remained binding. This decision nullified all claims to ownership of the 500,000 black Englishmen after the Revolution. Further, the U.S. Constitution, ratified in 1788, entrenched English legal traditions. As one of the first acts of the new Congress was the Judiciary Act of 1789, which solidified the federal judiciary's adherence to English common law principles. And yet, despite these foundational truths, the Dred Scott decision ignored this legal reality. It disregarded the binding precedent of English law, the Somerset decision, and the abolition of colonial slave codes and laws that the Founding Fathers grieved in the Declaration, which labeled King George III a tyrant for abolishing our most valuable laws. Instead, it perpetuated a false narrative that sought to legitimize the enslavement of Black Americans under the guise of constitutional interpretation. We must explicitly repudiate the Dred Scott decision to move forward as a nation. This is not merely a symbolic act, but a necessary step to affirm the principles of equality and justice that our nation claims to hold dear. By doing so, we confront the truth of our history and honor the legacy of those who fought for the freedoms that the Dred Scott decision sought to deny. Please share and visit our website at Wells Center on American Exceptionalism and look for future videos.